You don't smear. And how long have you lived in Columbia, first of all?
I've lived in Columbia all my life, and I'm 34 years old.
Gotcha. So tell us about, the specifics of this incident. Where were you? What were you doing? When did you realize that he was choking?
It was on Tuesday morning. I was at South Carolina Elementary at my daughter's 5th grade graduation, and I had some lifesavers in my purse, and I gave my husband one to give to our child. And we were thinking that he was gonna bite it, and chew it like a normal baby, but he ended up swallowing it. And when I noticed him choking, I jumped up.
He grabbed
He grabbed something. That's probably mine too.
We can start that all over again. It's okay.
How old is your son?
He's 1 year old.
All right, so kind of tell us, start with the lifesavers. I think that's.
Okay, I had the lifesavers in my purse, and me being a big girl, I love to eat, so I had snacks. So I offered everyone a lifesaver, so my husband got one for the baby to try to keep him calm, because he was kind of making noise, during the ceremony. So he ended up swallowing it and choking off it. So I realized he was choking, and I jumped up. And then that's when Deputy Crawford came, and she came and hit him in the back, and I was just like a nervous wreck. I thought I could have passed out. If it wasn't for her, I don't know. I thank her so much for everything.
Did it seem like an eternity?
Yes, it did. Because I seen my baby eyes rolling back, like he was out of breath for about 20 seconds. Mm-hmm.
If Deputy Crawford hadn't have been there, have you thought about, what would have happened otherwise?
I don't even know, to be honest. I don't even know. It was like a spare of the moment thing. I was trying to hit him in the back. I wasn't even really thinking. I was basically out of it, but still there.
Have you ever had a close call like this with any of your children?
No. That was very close, not as far as choking. They have drinking something and maybe had to cough it up, but not as far as choking.
Deputy Crawford obviously says she was just doing her job and isn't the hero, doesn't
Yeah.
deserve that title. Do you beg to differ?
Yes, she does. She does deserve the title, because she came out of nowhere. She was gone. She was running, and she came and she grabbed him, give him to me, and she hit him in the back.
I assume
Thankful.
you
And
never.
she even pushed my mother in before all this came about. She helped my mom out of the vehicle, pushed her across the basketball courtyard and everything in her chair. And she was coming to as well, but she hadn't got here.
And you hadn't met her before until that day?
No, I hadn't met her before.
Any plans to stay in contact now that all this?
Yes, I have no problem with that, absolutely. I would very much appreciate that.
What was your initial reaction to her when it was all over?
I was like, thank her so much, thank God for the police officers. They are not all bad. I'm thankful for her. She was there at that time.
And along those lines, police officers, and we were talking to Deputy Crawford about that, sometimes if they're in the news, it's because something went wrong.
Yeah, something was wrong. It's
But-
never anything positive, and I'm glad this is a positive outcome.
How has this situation changed your life moving forward?
It makes me want to pay more close attention to my baby, and I just look at life more differently, because I could have lost my baby just like that, off a piece of candy. And I'm no longer buying lifesavers, not the hard ones.
Not even speaking as a lifesaver, but you have a lifesaver next to you. What would you like to say to her right now?
I thank you so much, and I hope God continues to bless you. You were a miracle that day in my life, and me and my family are so thankful.
Thank
for
you.
And you were beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I will be a part of his life. I'm gonna be his godmother. We talked about it earlier. So this is what we do as law enforcement officers. We build relationships with our community. And sometimes we go a step further. In this case, I wanna be a part of his life until he reaches adulthood.
And I don't have a problem with that. I'm a mother of 5, so all help, I appreciate anything. All help is appreciated.
I do have one last question. What is he like on a daily basis?
Oh, energetic, I was like, he did now, he don't even care, he's a happy baby, happy going baby.
How long
No
have you been
problems.
with Richland County Sheriff's Department?
A year and a half,
You came from Miami Police Department? is that
City of Miami Police Department.
Okay, so kind of lay out the scene first of all. What was happening? Where were you? Where did this happen? When did it happen?
We were in the gym and they were having a 5th grade graduation. I was standing on the side and I noticed this mother that stood up, and in a panic, she had her baby in her arms and she was saying, he's choking, he's choking. my motherly instinct kicked in first, and then my law enforcement experience kicked in. And I ran over to her, I grabbed the child from her, and I can look at him and tell that he was gasping for air. I immediately turned him on his back and gave him thrust to his back, and the candy came out of his mouth, and he began to cry. And then I took him to the nurse so that the nurse could examine him and make sure that he was okay.
Talk about how the training here prepared you for that situation.
The training here at Richland County and the city of Miami that I have experienced has prepared me. I'm a well-rounded officer. I can deal with any situation at any time. I react quickly. As in this instance, I didn't have time to, it was a quick response. I responded quickly and got there time enough so that the child didn't lose consciousness, but he was gasping for air. Had I not gotten there quick enough, then he possibly would have lost consciousness.
You first reacted, you're saying from a mother going, "Oh no," but then you became a cop. Talk about that transition. Is it, or is it one and the same kind of?
It's one and the same. Both of them is a task that requires a lot of responsibility and maturity. And being that I got in law enforcement at a young age, I matured quickly and I began my motherhood at the same time. So it all worked together, you know, responding to calls and speaking to other people about their problems helped me with my own life, everyday living.
You, every day you're out fighting crime and things that are always negative. How does it make you feel to be able to go home and know that you helped potentially save a life?
It makes me feel good. It's the gratification of this job. We catch so much negativity. We're rarely recognized for the good things that we do, and it made me feel good knowing, being a grandmother, that if it was my grandkid or one of my children, I would want someone to do the same thing. And I have a model that I always carry with me the whole 25 years of my career. I treat people as I want them to treat my family. If my fellow officers was to come in contact with my family members, I would like for them to treat them with respect, and I carry that with me throughout my career.
Curious what the interaction was like with the mother and the 1-year-old after it was all said and done.
Oh, she hugged me, and she just kept telling me thank you and thank you so much for being there. And I thank God that I was in the right place at the right time, in a position where I can see her. Because if I was standing in the back, I would see her standing up, but would not have known what was going on. And when I seen her holding her child, and her face she looked it like she was just in a panic mode. My quick response was to run over there and assist her, take the baby from her, and my training kicked in.
I'm curious, did you, when you were in Miami, did you also work with children, or did you just become a school resource officer when you came to Richland County?
In Miami, I worked the road for 17 years. The last 2 years, I worked street narcotics. And when I came to Richland County, I became a school resource officer.
Was it like, I know that you've probably been faced with a lot of really intense situations where you have to react quickly and instinctively. Is it scarier? Was it scarier doing this to a child, reacting to this situation with a child, or have you helped save kids from choking before?
This is my first incident where I've actually responded quickly and was hands-on with the child right at the moment that the incident was occurring. I was nervous, yes. I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything properly to get the candy that was enlarged in his throat out of his mouth, out of his throat.
And my last question is, maybe to younger officers, what's some of the things you could tell them about this type of profession that they have chosen, just reflecting upon what you just went through?
I would tell my younger officers to enjoy your career, treat people with respect, always always acknowledge and be willing to help, understanding, always we're in the field where we're trying to build a relationship with the community. And we have to continue on with this pattern, and our dignity and our loyalty is very important. So throughout my career, I carry that along with me. No matter where I am, I treat every citizen the same, and I treat them with the respect.